The average film festival submission fee sits between $25 and $125. The average independent filmmaker submits to between 30 and 50 festivals per film. Run that arithmetic. Before a single selection comes back, before a single audience has seen your work, you have spent between $750 and $6,000 on fees, and in most cases, with no strategic framework determining which festivals received those fees or why. I have sat on selection committees. I have reviewed thousands of submissions. I know what a strategically submitted film looks like from the inside. And I know what an unstrategic one costs the filmmaker who sent it. Today, I am giving you the 5-step framework that changes that calculation. I have managed festival programming across 5 countries. Over 10 years, I have been responsible for selection processes at events serving audiences of up to 140,000 people, with submission volumes running into the thousands per cycle. From that position, I have reviewed what strategic submissions look like. Films that arrive correctly positioned, correctly packaged, and correctly targeted for our specific programming identity. And I have reviewed what unstrategic submissions look like. Technically accomplished films that never had a realistic chance of selection, not because the quality, but because the targeting. The difference is not luck. It is a framework, and the framework is learnable. The 5 steps. The film festival submission framework I'm going to walk you through has 5 steps. Step number 1, define your submission goal before you spend a single dollar. Step number 2, build your tiered festival list. Step number 3, run the pre-submission audit on every festival before you pay. Step number 4, construct your submission calendar and budget. Step number 5, account for the hidden costs, the ones that appear after you've been accepted. These 5 steps, applied in sequence, will reduce your submission spend, increase your selection rate, and ensure that the festivals where you do screen actually serve your career. Let's go through each one. Step number 1, define your submission goal before you spend a single dollar. This is the step that most filmmakers skip entirely. They complete their film, open Film Freeway, and begin submitting. The goal, implicitly, is to get into as many festivals as possible. This is not a goal. It's an activity. A submission goal is specific. It answers one question. What does a successful festival run look like for this particular film? There are 4 legitimate goals, and they require different festival strategies. Goal number 1, distribution. You want a distributor, a streaming platform deal, a sales agent conversation. This goal requires targeting festivals with established market components, festivals attended by acquisitions executives and international buyers. I can name Sundance, Tribeca, and their international equivalents exist in this category. The submission fees are higher. The competition is more intense. The programming criteria are more specific. If distribution is your goal, a small selection of correctly targeted top-tier festival is vastly more valuable than a large selection of mid-tier ones. Goal number 2, industry credibility. You want festival laurels that signal professional standing to producer, to collaborators, and future employers. This goal rewards BAFTA qualifying, Oscar qualifying, regionally prestigious festivals. These are eye-definable and researched. They are not the same as the highest profile festivals. Goal number 3, community and audience. You want your film seen by a live audience. You want feedback. You want to attend screenings, meet filmmakers, and build relationships. This goal is best served by regional festivals, geographically accessible, community-based, community-focused, with engaged local audiences. These are frequently undervalued and undersubmitted to. Goal number 4, portfolio development. You are an early career filmmaker. The film itself is a learning exercise. The submission is an exposure exercise. In this case, free festivals, regional festivals, and genre-specific festivals are correct targets. Not prestige festivals, you're statistically unlikely to penetrate. Know your goal. Write it down. Every festival you subsequently consider is evaluated against it. If a festival does not serve your stated goal, it does not receive your fee, regardless of its name recognition. Step number 2, build your tiered festival list. Once your goal is defined, you build a 3-tier festival list. This is not an arbitrary categorization. Each tier has a specific function, a realistic success probability, and a proportionate share of your submission budget. Tier number 1, prestige targets. These are the festivals whose selection would materially advance your specific goal. For a distribution-focused filmmaker, this means festivals with market components and acquisition attendance. For a filmmaker pursuing industry celebrity, this means BAFTA qualifying or Oscar qualifying films or Oscar qualifying festivals in your category. For community-focused filmmakers, this means the most respected regional festival in your geographic area. Tier number 1 typically contains 3 to 6 festivals. Submission fees are highest here. Success probability is lowest. You submit here because the return on a single selection justifies the investment, not because you expect to get in. Allocate approximately 30% of your submission budget to tier number 1. Tier number 2, strategic mid-tier. These are established, credible festivals whose programming identity closely matches your film's profile. They have named juries, documented selection histories, and real audiences. They are researchable. You can identify their past 3 years of selections and confirm that your film belongs in the same conversation. Tier number 2 typically contains 10 to 15 festivals. These are your highest probability selections and your most valuable career-building entries. Allocate approximately 50% of your budget here. Tier number 3, targeted regional and genre festivals. These are smaller festivals with specific audience communities, geographic reach, or genre focus that align precisely with your film. A horror film festival, a festival dedicated to films from your city or region, a festival focused on documentary work, an animation, or debut features. These festivals offer real audiences, real community, and real feedback. These are frequently the festivals where the filmmakers attend in person and have the most meaningful professional experiences. Allocate the remaining 20% of your budget here, or supplement with free festival submissions, which exist and are legitimate. 3 tiers, 3 functions, 1 budget, deliberately distributed. Step number 3 is where most of the money is saved, and most of the bad submissions are prevented. It is a 5-question audit. Every festival passes this audit before you pay. Everyone. Step number 3, run the pre-submission audit on every festival before you pay. Before you submit to any festival, regardless of tier, you answer 5 questions. If a festival cannot provide clear answers to 5 questions through its public materials, it does not receive your submission fee. That alone eliminates a significant portion of the festivals currently listed on Film Freeway. Question number 1. Who has won this festival in your category over the last 3 years? Research the award history. If the winners are documented and available, you can access whether your film belongs in that conversation. If the award history is not published, if there are no named past winners available for review, treat that as a signal. Question number 2. Who is on the jury? A festival with a credible jury publishes its jury composition. Name professionals with documented industry backgrounds, whose selection you would value as a credential. If the jury is anonymous or composed of names with no verifiable professional presence, the laurel it grants has no currency. Question number 3. What is the festival's actual audience? Not the claimed audience, the documented audience. Is there evidence of real screenings, real venues, real attendance? Photographs from past editions, a physical venue name, press coverage, a festival that exists primarily as a submission platform, collecting fees, distributing digital laurels without a meaningful public screening program is not a film festival. It's a fee collection operation. Question number 4. Does this festival have premiere requirements? And do you still qualify? Many festivals require a regional or world premiere. If your film has already screened in the same country, state, or territory, you may be ineligible without realizing it. Submitting in violation of premiere requirements can result in disqualifying after selection, a consequence that is worse than rejection and can compromise your premiere status for subsequent festivals. Question number 5. What does acceptance at this festival actually return? Prestige, audience, distribution exposure, industry networking. What is the specific, documentable return if your film is selected? If you cannot answer this question from public information, ask the festival directly before submitting. The response and the speed of it will tell you a great deal. 5 questions applied to every festival before every fee. Step number 4, construct your submission calendar and budget. A submission budget is not a number. It's a structured allocation across time, tier, and submission window. Begin with your total budget. For most independent short filmmakers, a realistic and disciplined submission budget is between $300 and $700. That figure is not ceiling. It's a discipline. Every dollar beyond it requires a specific justification tied to your stated goal. From that budget, apply the tier allocation from step number 2. 30% to tier number 1, 50% to tier number 2, 20% to tier number 3. On a $500 budget, that is $150 for prestige festivals, $250 for strategic mid-tier, and $100 for regional and genre festivals. Now layer in submission calendar. Festivals have early, regular, and late submission windows. The early window almost always carries the lowest fee, sometimes by 25 to 40%. Submitting during the early window is not a sign of desperation. It's a financial discipline that extends your budget, and in some cases gives your film additional viewing time before shortlist is assembled. Build a submission calendar that maps each festival against its early deadline, your eligibility status, and your premiere requirements. Submit tier number 1 festivals first during their early windows. Move through tier number 2 systematically. Reserve tier number 3 for late-stage submissions or free festivals opportunities. One practical note on Film Freeway's paid marketing options. They offer promotional campaigns that surface your film to festival programmers. The community experience with these campaigns is consistent. The majority of outreach generated comes from festivals that would not survive the 5-question audit in step 3. If your budget is limited, those dollars are more effectively spent on an additional targeted submission than on a mass outreach campaign. Step number 5, account for hidden costs, the one that appear after you have been accepted. This is the step that catches filmmakers by surprise because it's invisible during the submission phase. The fee you paid to submit is not the total cost of festival participation. In many cases, it's the smallest cost. Hidden cost number 1, the DCP. A digital cinema package is the projection format required by professional cinema venues. Most festival submission guidelines do not require a DCP at the point of submission. They accept an H.264 file or a Vimeo link. But when a festival selects your film and programs it in a theatrical venue, they will frequently request a DCP for the screening itself. DCP creation through a professional service costs between $150 and $400, depending on the runtime and specifications. If you have not budgeted for this, a festival selection becomes an unexpected expense at the moment of your greatest excitement. Hidden cost number 2, travel and attendance. A festival selection that you attend in person is more valuable than one you receive as a notification email. The networking, the audience feedback, and industry relationships, these outcomes require physical presence. Budget for travel and accommodation to at least the festivals in your Tier 1 and your most strategically aligned Tier 2 selections. If your budget does not permit attendance, prioritize festivals in your geographic region where travel is manageable. The value of being in the room, of watching your film with an audience, of meeting programmers and fellow filmmakers, is not replicated by a laurel on a poster. Hidden cost number 3, promotional materials. Selected films are expected to provide still images, poster artwork, press kits, and director statements for festival programs and press coverage. These materials require time and, in some cases, professional design resources. Prepare them before your first submission, not after your first selection. Hidden cost number 4, withdrawal management. If your film has premiere requirements and is selected at a festival that consumes your world, regional, or national premiere, subsequent festivals requiring that premiere status are now unavailable to you. Understand precisely what premiere status each acceptance consumes and what it forecloses. This is not a hidden cost in financial terms. It's a strategic cost and it's permanent. Budget for these 4 hidden costs before you calculate your submission budget. They are not optional line items. They are the conditions under which a successful selection becomes a successful experience. The film freeway trap. What to avoid specifically. I want to address one specific operational trap directly because it costs independent filmmakers a disproportionate amount of money relative to any return it generates. Film Freeway is an industry standard submission platform. It is legitimate, well-structured, and used by virtually every credible festival that accepts external submissions. I'm not describing it as a problem. The trap is the behavior that the platform's design makes easy. Submitting to every festival that appears in the filtered search without applying the 5 questions audit, because the volume of available festivals creates the illusion of opportunity. I have spoken with programmers at mid-sized and smaller festivals about the quality of submissions they receive. The consistent observation is this: a significant portion of their submission volume comes from filmmakers who clearly have not researched the festival, whose films are outside the stated genre scope, whose runtimes exceed the category limits, whose work has no relationship to the festival's programming identity. These submissions cost the filmmaker money, and they produce no result for either party. The 5-question audit in Step 3 exists precisely to prevent this. A submission to a festival you have researched is a professional act. A submission to a festival you have not researched is an expensive gamble. At $25 to $125 per entry, the difference accumulates quickly. The Strategic Submission Blueprint, 5-step, complete framework. Step number 1, define your goal. Distribution, industry credibility, community or portfolio development. Write it down. Every subsequent decision is evaluated against it. Step number 2, build your tiered list. 3 to 6 Tier 1 prestige targets. 10 to 15 Tier 2 strategic mid-tier festivals. A curated selection of Tier number 3 regional and genre festivals. 30 50, and 20% of your budget, respectively. Step number 3, run the pre-submission audit. 5 questions: award history, jury composition, actual audience, premiere requirements, and documentable return. Step number 4, build your submission calendar and budget. Submitting during early windows. Map every festival against your premiere eligibility. Do not spend budget on mass marketing campaigns. Spend it on targeted submissions. Step number 5, budget for hidden costs. DCP creation, travel and attendance, promotional materials, and premiere status management. Account for these before you calculate your submission budget, not after your first selection arrives. This is not a guarantee of selection. No framework is. No framework is. It's a guarantee that when your film is selected, it will be at a festival that was chosen deliberately. One that serves your stated goal, respects your work, and returns something concrete for your investment. Independent filmmakers make hundreds of deliberate decisions to bring a film into existence. The script, the cast, the locations, the edit, every element of that process is approached with intentionality. The submission strategy deserves the same standard. A film submitted to 60 festivals without a framework is not more exposed than a film submitted to 20 with one. It is simply more expensive, and in some cases, through premiere status consumption, through associations with festivals that do not advance your stated goal. It is actively counterproductive. Submit deliberately, research completely, budget honestly. The festival circuit is a professional environment. It responds to professional preparation. If the series have been useful to you, subscribe. Each video in this series draw on direct experience from inside festival programming, not a simplified version of how the process works. Leave a question below if you are in the middle of submission campaign right now, and something in this framework changes how you are approaching it. I want to hear what. I read every comment.